There is a quiet heroism in those who choose to bend rather than break, who meet the demands and desires of others with a willingness that is often mistaken for weakness. In the rhythm of our daily lives, many of us find ourselves perpetually stretching, adjusting, compromising, softening our edges, all in the hope of building bridges, soothing tensions, and creating connections. We seek to please, not because we lack a sense of self, but because we long for acceptance, understanding, and unity. And yet there comes a moment, sometimes subtle and sometimes seismic, when we realize we have bent so far for others that our own shape is lost to us. We give and we give. We open our hearts, lower our defenses, offer our best selves in vulnerability, only to be wounded by indifference, betrayal, or even the casual cruelty of those who cannot or will not appreciate the effort it took simply to be open. It is a true paradox. The more we endeavor to please, the more invisible our own needs can become. We smile when we would rather frown. We agree when our hearts dissent. We forgive when pain still lingers. Sometimes for the simple reason that we fear rejection more than we fear self-neglect. This persistent self-sacrifice is not born of weakness, but of hope. It is the hope that our kindness will be mirrored, that our acceptance will be reciprocated, that our willingness to understand will be met with our same understanding. We trust that by lowering our guard, we invite others to do the same. We believe that by showing our true selves, others will value us for who we are. But when that hope is dashed, when our efforts are met with dismissal or manipulation, it's easy to believe that our kindness was a mistake, that we should never have tried. Everyone who bends too far for too long knows the ache that comes before the break. It is a weariness of spirit, an exhaustion that seeps into the bones. It is the moment when you realize that for all your efforts to hold others together, you have come undone yourself. You question the wisdom of your own heart, wondering why you cared, why you tried, why you let yourself hope for better. But let us pause here for just a minute and breathe. Let us remind ourselves that breaking is not the end. Rather, it's an inflection point. It is a call to remember who we are beneath the pressures and expectations of others. The urge to protect ourselves is not shameful. It is necessary. And if we break, it is not because we were weak, but because we were strong enough to bend for so long. What the world often misses is that every act of kindness is an act of endurance. Every time you chose to listen rather than judge, to forgive rather than close your heart, to reach out rather than retreat, you demonstrated resilience. You showed a steadfast belief in the possibility of goodness, even when the evidence was thin. Your kindness was never wasted. Like water flowing over stone, it shaped the landscape, even if the change was slow and unseen. Every bow, every concession, every moment you chose compassion over indifference was a quiet statement of strength. You stayed soft in a world that urged you to harden. And that is not failure. That is courage. To those who feel regret for having tried, who fear that their openness was a mistake, know that your willingness to love, to trust, to hope, these are not signs of naivety, but of a heart that refuses to give in to cynicism. You were brave enough to let yourself be seen, to offer your real self to others. That takes far more endurance than building walls ever could. Each time you bowed for someone else, you proved your capacity for empathy. Each time you endured disappointment or misunderstanding, you built the foundation of your own resilience. The world needs more people like you, more people who believe despite it all that kindness is its own reward. If you are listening to this and feeling the sting of having given too much, please take heart. Your kindness is not the waste you fear it was. You are strong, not in spite of your endurance, but because of it. You have weathered storms that others cannot even see, and you have done so with grace. Let yourself rest if you must. Set boundaries, protect your heart, and remember that you owe no one more than you can give. But never regret your capacity to care. The world is brighter for your presence, even if some cannot see it. To bend is not to break. To care is not to lose. To try again and again is the very definition of courage. Your kindness is a mirror of your endurance, your willingness to try, and a mark of your unbreakable spirit. One day, you will find those who recognize your worth and cherish it. Until then, honor yourself for every moment you chose love over fear. And remember, you are stronger than you know, and your kindness is never wasted.